Now on CoastTV News.
Northstar partly approved what County Council's okay on a zoning change here means for development.
A referendum is happening in Ocean City, what it means for you.
An empty lot soon to be home to a Royal Farms if engineers can get an extension.
We could be in for a rough Wednesday as we brace for rainy and windy conditions all day long.
This is CoastTV News at 5.
This field off Beaver Dam Road will soon be filled with houses. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 5. We begin tonight with new approvals for the Northstar development.
Here's where developers plan to build. Northstar is between Beaver Dam Road and Route 9 there in Lewis. Sussex County Council today approved a request to rezone part of that land for apartments. CoastTV News reporter Emma Aiken is live there in Lewis. Emma, the county's move allows for workforce housing.
Maddie, up to 94 units that are designated as affordable housing will be built on 8 acres of this land behind me here, and documents show that Delaware State Housing Authority is involved in this, and the council says they hope that Northstar will help bring affordable places for people to live. Acres and acres of land known as the Northstar development in Lewis.
I hate to see all the farmland go. It was nice looking out at that.
The proposal for the construction of 758 homes has already gotten the green light. Plans for nearly 100,000 square feet of commercial space is still up in the air. But now Sussex County Council okayed 94 multifamily units on Tuesday, saying Northstar will provide essential affordable housing. Gail Moore lives right near the land and says still traffic is her main concern.
We do need affordable housing, but we also need to have the infrastructure to get people back and forth. I mean, it goes hand in hand. I mean, first you should plan the infrastructure and then do the building.
When voting yes unanimously, one sentiment shared by council members was that approving this part of the project helps prevent that land from being developed into expensive homes. Kathy Sedbrook understands that decision.
I mean, if it's going to be built up anyway, why not? You know, why not?
As Sussex County grows, some say it's smart planning, others worry it's moving too fast. Again, there's 3 parts to this project. The over 750 homes, that's happening. These 94 multifamily dwellings, those are now happening after today. But the commercial space for Northstar, that's still up in the air and was not discussed at council today. Live in Lewis, Emma Aiken, CoastTV News.
Northstar comes as Sussex County continues to debate other larger developments. One is Cool Spring Crossing. You might remember that name. It was up for hours. That proposed 600-acre project off Route 9 and Cool Spring Crossing would have housing and retail stores, a YMCA, and more. But there's also Belmead. That's a proposed complex with apartments and retail space planned for 30 acres. That's currently a horse farm next to Beacon Middle School in Lewis.
And this brings us right into our Coast TV poll tonight. We want to know, how do you feel about large new developments?
Let's take a look at the results so far. Take a look at your screen, and 51%, 52 now say traffic will worsen, 24% say schools can't handle, 17% say hurts the local environment, though 7% say adds affordable homes.
And if you haven't voted yet, you can still do that. Go to coasttv.com or use the Coast TV mobile app. Ocean City's 5-night minimum stay will potentially be overturned. On Monday, the Ocean City Council approved a petition for a referendum on the new 5-night minimum stay in residential areas and mobile homes in the town. Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zapay is live in Ocean City. Kevin, the petition got enough signatures. Now it's time for a referendum.
Charlie, the petition needed 900 signatures from people who live in Ocean City and voted in the last election. And that's exactly what they got with just over 1,000 signatures. Now they're asking voters to come out one last time and say no to this ordinance. Now, one realtor in Ocean City says the ordinance requiring a 5-night minimum length of stay in residential areas and mobile homes has already hurt bookings.
Last year, by this time, they had over half of their calendar full. It is in an R1 area that does allow pets, so it's a very popular thing. If you allow pets, it's in high demand. But as you can see here in this calendar, this is the only one reservation that they currently have because of the 5-night minimum.
Now, if Ocean City is your primary residence, then you have a chance to vote in this special election right here at the Ocean City Convention Center on July 22nd. I'm Kevin Zappé, live in Ocean City, Coast TV News.
And we're taking a live look into Ocean City. Let's check in with our First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams on our weather here. Paul?
Well, our weather here is okay for today, but tomorrow morning there are no promises that you're going to go out and see a bright and sunny day. In fact, I'm more likely to promise that you'll see the opposite, and I'll show you why in just a moment. But right now, everything is very nice, cordial, and tranquil. We're looking at calm conditions for the most part, and the winds are out of the south at about 4 miles per hour, but 59 degrees. Now, we're going to stay near the 60-degree mark for the rest of the night with the increasing cloud cover, because as that moisture stacks up in the lower to mid to upper atmosphere, it's going to set the stage for a chance of scattered showers. Now, take a look at the temperature trend we've been having as of lately. Now, where you see red, this is near normal or above normal temperature, so we haven't had a lot of days where you have a lot of blues here in the previous few days in a row. So we've been trending on the warm side lately, so that's my only concern, that we may have some baked-in thermodynamic energy that could fuel some storms even without a clear-cut look at some sunshine for tomorrow. But that being the case, we're not seeing much in the way of sunshine right now. We do have breezy conditions along the entire Delmarva Peninsula, and we're bracing for about 25-mile-per-hour winds throughout the rest of the night. But we keep a close eye, because as this high-pressure system moves out of the way, we have a bit of a messy system that's going to bring possibly 2 to 3 days in a row of scattered shower activity. We'll talk more about that in detail coming up in a moment. Till then, back to you, Maddie.
Thank you. In Delaware, a new bill aims to make state government websites more accessible to non-English speakers. House Bill 302 would require translations in any language spoken by at least 5% of the state's population. The English version of each site would need to include a clearly visible link to the translated version, which could be created using machine translation if a disclaimer about accuracy is included.
Staying in Dover, a new law will now give terminally ill adults the option to seek medical aid in dying, commonly known as assisted suicide. House Bill 140 was signed into law today by Governor Matt Meyer after nearly a decade of debate. The bill applies to patients with 6 months or less to live and includes strict eligibility requirements and safeguards. Supporters say the law is about giving patients more control and peace in their final days. The law is expected to go into effect by January 1st.
You are looking at the location of where a Royal Farms could soon be in Milton. This is near the Food Lion is in that commercial area. Coast TV News reporter Zakia Jennings is live there. Zakia, people in Milton say they really need more gas stations.
Maddie, this lot I'm standing in now is where the Royal Farms would go. I spoke with multiple people in town today who say they have mixed feelings about more development in this historic town. The Royal Farms would be part of something called Cedar Creek Business Park. One man says a Royal Farms in town would be better than having to drive to the nearest one in Harbison.
I'm completely fine with it personally because it's a less of a distance to Harbison, but people usually just want like a chicken salad sandwich or other snacks, especially with how big Milton's getting.
Milton's Planning and Zoning Commission will be meeting this evening at 6:30 p.m. at the Cannery Village to discuss future construction of that Royal Farms. Live in Milton, Zakia Jennings, Coast TV News.
Farmers Market record broken. How many millions Delaware farmers markets made in sales last year?
Right now we're calm, but tomorrow could be a yellow alert day, so stick around so I can brief you on the stormy weather we anticipate for Wednesday.
First, Trump heads to Capitol Hill. What's up for debate in his GOP budget bill? That's next.
This is Coast TV News at 5.
President Trump was on Capitol Hill today to make a pitch with his so-called Big Beautiful Bill on the line.
Karen Kafa shows us what's at stake for American households.
President Trump's second-term domestic priorities are rolled up in what he calls a big, beautiful bill.
I think we're going to get everything we want, and I think we're going to have a great victory.
But making a push on Capitol Hill Tuesday, Trump encountered a divided House GOP caucus. Republicans from key swing districts warning changes to health coverage and food assistance programs could leave them politically vulnerable. Some blue state Republicans holding out for a bigger federal deduction for state taxes, and fiscal conservatives argue the bill doesn't do enough for the federal deficit.
The problem is it's being touted as a bill that corrects deficit spending, and it doesn't do that. It doesn't actually manage the deficit well.
The bill seeks to make permanent nearly all of the individual income tax breaks signed into law by Trump during his first term in 2017. It would also temporarily eliminate federal taxes on tips and on overtime pay and boost the child tax credit through 2028. To offset tax cuts, the bill proposes a Medicaid overhaul that seeks to cut spending with new rules like work requirements for adults physically capable of working and more frequent eligibility checks for those using the program. The bill also calls for more food stamp recipients to work to qualify for benefits and shifts some of the program's costs to states starting in 2028. House Speaker Mike Johnson expressing confidence Republicans can resolve their differences.
We are right on track to deliver, and that's what you'll see this House do this week.
In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
New tonight, a New Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office maintenance worker has been arrested following the escape of 10 inmates. The Louisiana Attorney General office says that the worker faces 10 counts related to the escapes and another charge. He's accused of being involved in the complex escape plan. Look at the video you see on your screen here. So far, 4 inmates have been recaptured in the New Orleans area. As of today, the manhunt was continuing for the remaining 6 escapees.
Here's a look at your Bay forecast. We're looking at widespread scattered showers Wednesday on Cambridge as well as Crisfield. Then a chance of a thunderstorm firing off even on Thursday in Cambridge. We'll have your full forecast coming right up. Beautiful conditions for today. Really the perfect setup to be shocked if you weren't paying attention to the forecast for tomorrow. It's going to be like night and day. Now, our tunnel razor camera in Lewis right now holding at 67 degrees. Dew point temperature of 52. So we have an up situation. We're ratcheting up the moisture content in the atmosphere ever so slightly with temperatures in the 60s. Couple things to keep in mind before we get started on what's expected for Wednesday. Right now, we still have an active small craft advisory for the Lewis Beach as well as Pine Hook, all the way down towards Ocean View. But we also have concerns for 25-mile-per-hour wind gusts over in Cambridge as well. And by the way, that is also inclusive of the Ocean City area. So everyone's going to be dealing with it. We have a high-pressure system that's on top of us right now. Let me slow down so I can stop stumbling over my words. Let's start that again, okay? We have a high-pressure system that's in place for right now, and we have clear skies as a result of that high-pressure system staying dominant at this point. Currently, the winds are pushing out of the southeast, relatively light. We picked up a 14-mile-per-hour gust, for example, the Indian River Inlet. But aside from that, we're quiet for now. Temperatures are in the 60s. Now, this is a good thing. We would really like to stay in the 60s and come down a bit for us because we have a storm system that's headed our way for tomorrow. So we're at 72 in Redden, but we're at 68 degrees in Millsboro as well as Georgetown and Gumboro. Overnight, we're going to fall back into the 50s with cloudy skies and winds out of the southeast. Now, breaking it down, we're looking for rain throughout the entire day. Pull your umbrella out tonight because you're going to need it tomorrow. Can't be any more plain than that. Here's another obvious one. Our chances of rain for Wednesday is a whopping 100%. So that lets you know we're looking pretty solid on that. Starting at 6 o'clock in the morning, it begins. Widespread steady showers, particularly in Millsboro and Shelbyville, with temperatures in the upper 50s. Then we get isolated pockets of thunderstorms rumbling through Del Mars and Millsboro, going into the midday hours, about 10 o'clock in that morning, and then it pulls to the north by 1 o'clock. And then another pocket will begin to pull through late Wednesday going into the midnight hour for Thursday, according to the latest model run, particularly near Lewis and Rehoboth Beach. So that's for the most northern portions of our viewing area. From Ocean Pines, Newark, Snow Hill, and Pocomoke City, we see widespread rain at 7:30, widespread, and we see another wave pushing through by 10 o'clock. And then we see a brief break right around lunchtime before we start to see another round of scattered showers, relatively like reinitiate for Thursday and by Thursday afternoon. So for tonight, 55, very cloudy, late rain could kick in for us. 58 for tomorrow, early showers, then a chance of midday storms, mid-morning storms to be more exact. Then for Thursday, morning rain, but spotty showers possibly later on, particularly around Ocean City and to the south of Ocean City. 68 degrees. Finally, here's a look at the extended forecast. It is a yellow alert day for Wednesday because we're not calling for a severe storm, but not so comfortable weather and some slick driving conditions. Yeah, so we want you to be on at least yellow alert for that.
Thank you. Tonight, the city of Salisbury is inviting the community to help shape the future of Salisbury's neighborhoods, history, culture, all of it. There are several comprehensive plan focus groups. Tonight is housing, historic, and cultural resources. That's happening from 6 to 8 at Salisbury Fire Station number 16.
Listen to this. Delaware farmers markets hit a record $4.5 million in sales in 2024. State officials say they're hoping to top that number in 2025. The Department of Agriculture says the state is aiming to top $5 million in its annual sales this year. And did you know Governor Meyer has proclaimed May 18th through May 25th as Delaware Grown Week. The state says this week recognizes local markets and food producers. And right now on CoastTV.com, we have full breakdowns of farmers markets right here on Delmarva.
Coming up, paying less at the pump this Memorial Day. How much gas has gone down? Next on Coast TV News at 5. That's good news for the projected 39.4 million Americans expected to hit the road this Memorial Day. Filling up for the trip is cheaper. According to Gas Buddy, the average price of a gallon is $3.08. That's the lowest price this time of year since 2021. Way lower than 3 years ago when it was $4.60. Right now, AAA says the average price in Delaware is at $2.98 a gallon.
You want to cut down on some long lines? Well, DelDOT has announced the DMV on-the-go trailer is open for 2025. That's where you can go for some DMV services like address changes on your license or renewing registrations. The DMV on the go will be at DART's Lewis Transit Center on Mondays. Then it's going to stop by the Milton Cheer Center on Tuesdays. On Thursdays, it'll be parked at the Harbor Freight Shopping Center in Seaford. For all the locations, the trailer will be open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
In consumer news, Google has laid out its vision for the future of searching the web. This comes as the search engine works to compete with chatbots like ChatGPT and other search engines fueled by artificial intelligence. The company said they're adding so-called digital agents that can crawl the web and answer questions based on a person's real-world surroundings, tastes, and preferences.
Home Depot says it expects to keep most prices stable in face of tariffs, with some possible exceptions. A Home Depot executive says its customers will not see broad price increases. However, he added that the tariff effect might raise prices on select items or force other products to be eliminated.
It's time to take one more look at our Coast TV poll.
We want to know, how do you feel about large developments?
Take a look at your screen so far, and 60% are concerned about the traffic, environment, schools getting some of the vote as well. Right now, no one's saying boosts local economy, but 4% saying adds affordable homes.
And we may have a comment for you later this evening. Right now, you can go to CoastTV.com, leave one if you would like, or go vote. We'll show you updated results on Coast TV News at 6.
Let's take one more live look outside as we look into Laurel. One more check on the forecast after this.
Coming up new on Coast TV News at 6, big changes could come to this lot in Milford. A plan for a 4-story building is up for debate at the Planning Commission tonight. That story and more at 6.
Coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network, Lake Forest at Cape Henlopen for the Henlopen Championship Conference. That's at 8, then the final score at 10:30.
And this is pretty neat. A rare bird was recently spotted by passengers on the Cape May Lewis Ferry. According to the American Birding Association, experts were able to identify the bird as a streaked shearwater. Look at it right here, making it the first ever documented sighting of this species in the entirety of the Atlantic Ocean. The bird typically breeds near Japan, Korea, and coastal China, also Russia.
Wow. All right. Take a look at our Tyndall furniture camera in Laurel. We're going to stay in the lower 60s with increasing cloud cover in our neck of the woods. We do have a small craft advisory in effect for the entire coastal region of the Delmarva Peninsula. Our winner of our umbrella is Stephen Bonney of Lewis. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling. Listen, you keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, 443-880-9100. Your forecast just a call away, sponsored by the law offices of Brockstead, Mandalis, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast, yellow alert day for Wednesday.
All thank you, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 5.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
Inside Edition is up next.
And we'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great evening.